So I'd like to know what is Frigate and what is the magic behind that you brought it to the top 10 startups of Tamil Nadu.
So Frigate, we started with a mission to ease the manufacturing, right? But this manufacturing space is not very organized for a long time, right? நான் படித்தது வந்து ஈரோடு தான் என்னோட சொந்த ஊர், பிறந்தது வளர்ந்தது எல்லாமே. ஸோ ஐ ரேன் அவுட் ஆஃப் த காலேஜ். அதுக்கப்புறம் என்ன கன்வின்ஸ் பண்ணி திருப்பி கூட்டிகிட்டு வந்தாங்க கேஎஸ்ஆருக்கு. ஸோ ஐ டிட் மை ஓன் ஸ்டார்ட் அப் இன்சைட் த கேஎஸ்ஆர். கேம்பஸ் ஆஃபரே எனக்கு டிசிஎஸ் கிடச்சிது. பட் only 14 people we got selected from our department, and 2 people we didn't join TCS because one person went to research in Sweden and another person is me who got offer. I said I don't want to join IT, I want to go to core industry, right?
When you jumped inside India and thought of starting a startup, கண்டிப்பா உங்க ஹோம்ல ஏதோ ஒரு அவங்களுக்கு ஒரு மைண்ட் செட் இருந்துருக்கும்ல. What was it and how you dealt with it?
So the delay of me starting something on my own, also coming full time into Frigate, is something related to the family, right? Because I was earning such a high earning person in the family, they were all scared of my decision to leave the job. Although in the middle class families, I always say this is either a curse.
How are you different from your competitors?
Let's look at it in this way, right? Let's not look at how we are different from others, right? Let's look at what we are good at. Manufacturing is going to be the biggest thing in India for next 30 to 50 years, right?
How do you deal with your first investment?
See, the investment எப்போ raise பண்ணலாம் அப்படின்னா something that you want to build faster and you want to capture the market and you want some fuel. வண்டி இருக்கு, டயர் இருக்கு, நல்ல டிரைவர் இருக்காங்க, பட் கொஞ்சம் எக்ஸ்ட்ரா ஃபியூவல் இருந்தா you can go faster. அப்படின்ற டைம்ல தான் we have to go for fundraising, right? And the culture that needs to be followed when you work with overseas customers, if you say yes, it's yes. It's not maybe. In India, if you say yes, it's maybe. Right? Maybe 10 நாள்ல முடியுமா, நடந்துரும். Or any other country takes words for serious. So if you want to build a credibility, if you say yes, it has to happen. If you say no, okay, fine, no problem.
So now let's have some chill talk about what is the day-to-day life of a COO.
Day-to-day, it's very difficult. In IT, we don't work on Saturdays, right? Manufacturing work on Saturdays, right?
So hello everyone. Today in our podcast we are having Mr. Karthikeyan Prakash. He is the CEO and co-founder of Frigate, which is one of the top 10 listed startups in Tamil Nadu. So happy to have you here, Karthik. How are you?
Thank you so much, Cascal team and Revolution for inviting me here. I'm feeling very happy. I can see the community growing in the tier 2 cities, especially in Tamil Nadu, and building startups from tier 2. And happy to be part of this podcast and share my knowledge as well as my experience with the team.
It is an immense pleasure to have you here, Karthik. So I'd like to know what is Frigate and what is the magic behind that you brought it to the top 10 startups of Tamil Nadu.
Sure. So Frigate, we started with a mission to ease the manufacturing, right? So இன்னைக்கு நீங்க for take an example of e-commerce, how it has changed our life in the past decade, right? உங்களுக்கு ஒரு பொருள் வாங்கணும்னா instead of going to 10 different shops, நீங்களே ஏறி இறங்கி பேசுறதோட, you are able to check everything online and then you can order and it gets delivered to you to your home. And that has evolved to from e-commerce to quick commerce now, right? 7 minutes, 10 minutes, you can get the products done. But this manufacturing space is not very organized for a long time, right? Even though one set of manufacturers are organized and a lot of other sectors are not organized at all. Take example of small and medium scale manufacturers, right? In Coimbatore, we have so many small and medium scale manufacturers. We have the similar kind of manufacturers in Trichy. We have in Chennai. Chennai la konjam oralukku organized ah irukum, but in the tier 2 cities la nariya per Pune, Jamnagar, you can take Rajkot. So what we thought is a country like China has a good ecosystem of manufacturing, right? If a customer wants to get parts manufactured in India, it is difficult to find the right manufacturer. And also, even if I find the right manufacturer, after giving the order, how do I ensure it is getting delivered on time? That is a problem statement we do, okay? And this is from my experience as well, because I was in the US for 3 years. I was building my hardware startup in the US because I'll be sitting in my office in New York, right? Then I place an order to somebody in Chennai. How do I monitor them? How do I make sure things are getting delivered on time? And who will take care of transparency? Who will take care of quality, right? So that was my personal experience, and that's what we wanted to address with Frigate. So Frigate is a B2B manufacturing platform where if a company has a requirement for manufacturing, they come and give the requirement to Frigate. We take the requirement, we go to our trusted frigater network. We call it as a frigater network because these are our
Okay.
manufacturing partners. We give the requirement to them, we get the manufacturing done and take care until the parts are delivered to your doorstep. So that's what we do as Frigate. So far we have close to 250 plus manufacturers across India. We worked with 30 to 40 plus global customers. We export to 10 different countries right now. So we are joining the team which is writing the history of India's manufacturing for global. So that's what we do.
That is really great to hear, Karthik. So before starting Frigate or entering into Frigate, who are you basically and where are you from? A live recap.
ஷியோர் ஷியோர் ஐல் எக்ஸ்பிளைன். நான் படிச்சது வந்து ஈரோடு தான் என்னோட சொந்த ஊர், பிறந்தது வளர்ந்தது எல்லாமே. ஸோ ஈரோடு ஐ டிட் மை ஸ்கூலிங் அண்ட் தென் வைல் டூயிங் த ஸ்கூலிங் இட் செல்ஃப் ஐ வாஸ் இன் டு லாட் ஆஃப் எலக்ட்ரானிக் ப்ராஜெக்ட்ஸ் பிகாஸ் மை டேட் வாஸ் ரன்னிங் எலக்ட்ரிக்கல் ஷாப். ஸோ அவர் கூட வந்து அந்த எலக்ட்ரிக்கல் ஷாப்புக்கு போகும்போது அந்த எலக்ட்ரிக்கல் ஐட்டம்ஸ் பார்க்கும்போது ஐ யூஸ் டு டெவலப் மை நாலேஜ் ஆன் எலக்ட்ரிக்கல் பிளஸ் எலக்ட்ரானிக்ஸ். ரைட். பட் எனக்கு வந்து எலக்ட்ரானிக்ஸ்ல கொஞ்சம் ஆர்வம் ஜாஸ்தி. ரைட். லைக் ஓப்பனிங் த ரோபாட்ஸ் ஆர் ஓப்பனிங் தி டாய்ஸ் அண்ட் தென் reorganizing it and all. So from there I developed my interest, and after 10th I know that I'm not going to be very good in +1 +2. Like I want to go to some practical education, so I went to diploma I did in Ramakrishna College here in Coimbatore. That also I wanted to come out of my hometown comfort zone and learn something new, so that's why I moved to Coimbatore, studied in Ramakrishna, did my diploma in electronics and communication. Then I did lot of small projects during my diploma. Electronics I did a lot of projects. And then after diploma, I joined again engineering in KSR, Tirchango. I did again engineering in electronics and communication. But this time when I joined engineering, it was little different for me. And a diploma mudichittu thiruppi poi or engineering padikumbodhu, I was thinking I should go for a job. But people say to finish engineering and then go for a job. But I wanted to do something new in engineering, right? And கோயம்புத்தூர்ல படிச்சுட்டு ஈரோடு போனதுனாலே என்னன்னு தெரியல, கொஞ்சம் கல்ச்சரலி டிஃபரன்ஸ் இருந்துச்சு கோயம்புத்தூர் அண்ட் ஈரோடு. தட் டைம் ஈரோடு is still a tier 3 city. Namakkal region is still like a bookworm kind of education, right? So I ran out of the college. அதுக்கப்புறம் என்ன கன்வின்ஸ் பண்ணி திருப்பி கூட்டிட்டு வந்தாங்க கேஎஸ்ஆருக்கு. Then KSR supported me a lot. So I did my own startup inside the KSR called Student Industry. So and the name vechadukana kaaraname vandu the gap that I felt is students, we are studying engineering but we were not doing engineering. We are not experimenting engineering. So student industry la enna pannuvom appadina, we used to develop a product inside the college laboratory and then we sell it in the market like a real product development company. So entrepreneurship club alla illa, but somewhat we took support of some professors who has helped me build that startup inside the college, made it like a portal or web portal mari or community mari build panni. I was invited by multiple colleges, nearby colleges, to promote the entrepreneurship. Kongu college la pannirkom, adukapra Ramakrishna college la thirupi pannirkom. We did lot of workshops as well. So that was my starting journey of startup and product development. Then KSR mudichittu, in 2015 and all, everybody wants to have one answer, the offer irukanum. College mudikkiradhukku munadiye you need to have offer, or else people will ask. அது இல்லாம என்னோட அக்கா வந்து ஒரு வயசு தான் டிஃபரன்ஸ். அக்காவும் அதே காலேஜ். அக்காக்கு வந்து ஆஃபர் கிடைச்சு, she has already joined IT company, right? Then people were in final year, they were looking at me, எந்த கம்பெனி போறான், எந்த கம்பெனில இவனை எடுக்க போறாங்க அப்படின்னு, right? So somewhat for that reason I did lot of interviews and I got selected in TCS. Campus offer in TCS கிடைச்சது. But only 14 people we got selected from our department and 2 people we didn't join TCS because one person went to research in Sweden. And another person is me, who got offer. I said, I don't want to join IT. I want to go to core industry, right? And then I started job on my own. Search panni. Then I got a job in Hyderabad. Hyderabad la ஒரு small scale company la என்னோட core industry la job கிடைச்சது, instrumentation and product development. அங்க ஜாயின் பண்ண நானு. அப்ப மொழியும் தெரியாது, எதுவுமே தெரியாது. But I wanted to go something explore more. So I joined. Regardless, I joined. And then there I worked a lot. I used to travel across India. DRDO labs, நிறைய labs கூட நாங்க work பண்ணோம், research scientist கூட. I published my IEEE paper also in that. Did my own project for BrahMos missile. So there are lot of things I did in the first company. Then again I wanted to move to bigger role, like ஒரு பெரிய லெவல்ல ப்ராடக்ட் டெவலப் பண்ணணும் அப்படின்னு ஒரு ஐடியா இருந்துச்சு. Then I moved to a company called Smartron வந்து 2017 பாத்தீங்கன்னா மைக்ரோமேக்ஸ்க்கு அடுத்து Smartron was the only company who made mobile phones, tablets computers எல்லாமே வந்து இந்தியால டிசைன் பண்ணி மேனுஃபேக்சர் பண்ணோம், ரைட்? ஸோ தட் வாஸ் ஒன் ஆஃப் த பிக் ஸ்டார்ட் அப். ஸோ கான்டாக்டர்ஸ்னு இருக்கும்ல இப்போ வெப்சைட்ல, அந்த பேஜ்ல கிடைச்ச இமெயில் அட்ரஸ்ல எடுத்து என்னோட ரெஸ்யூமே அனுப்பி, அதுக்கப்புறம் மேனேஜிங் டைரக்டர் என்ன இன்டர்வியூ பண்ணி, தென் ஹி ஹஸ் அப்பாயிண்டட் மீ இன் ஸ்மார்ட்ரான். So I joined there.
Nice.
In 1 year of time, I did the entire product development of home automation system, software plus hardware. So it was very good. Launch pannonanga, and Sachin Tendulkar was one of our brand ambassador and investor. So we had a lot of discussion with him, and then we launched this product. Even still in YouTube, it's there, and that is one of the successful
Great.
products till now. Smartron, Tronics, அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு ஒரு smart home product. Then
Okay.
again, smartphone, lot of competition and other things. So we all, home automation team entire, we took an exit from Smartron, and then I joined another US-based company called TechElution, where I worked closely with the CEO of the company. Our software and I am a hardware guy. So we both joined and started a startup in the US called FaceOpen. We developed deep tech products, facial recognition and robotic products. So I spent close to 3 years in the US building the company, engineers and everything, product from scratch. I learned a lot of leadership things from my previous boss, TechElution CEO. And that was my journey. And then or level kamela, I was earning very good. Okay, in throughout my entire career, working experience, or 6 years. 6 years, I was already making like close to 4 lakh, 3 to 4 lakh per month. Okay, salary, Indian salary, na solra, US Indian salary. But Indian salary la 3 to 4 lakh plus flexibility and everything is very good, right? Everybody will try to get settled. But for me, I wanted to start something on my own and build a big company, right? Not just small company helping 100 people, 1,000 people. I want to build something which helps millions of people, right? Crores of people. And the idea was, because my journey was in product development, I know the problem in supply chain. சப்ளை செயின் செட்டப் பண்றது தான் வந்து ரொம்ப கஷ்டமான ஒர்க். எந்த கம்பெனிலுமே அதுதான் வந்து கம்பெனியோட சக்சஸையும் ஃபெயிலியரையும் டிசைட் பண்ணும். So that is the core idea. When I came back to India and then wanted to start something on my own, I did my domain registration, company registration, ella plan பண்ணியாச்சு. Then I met Tamil and other co-founders. Tamil was already doing this Frigate as a prototyping business. அப்பதான் cloud mining pivot பண்ணலாம் அப்படின்னு பிளான் பண்ணிருந்தாங்க. Then we met face to face because Trichy and Coimbatore nearby. So then we decided to move forward. I did my small pre-seed investment in the company also. And then
So Tamil was entirely a new phase for you.
Yes. It was a new phase, but I thought, okay, someone in the same frequency, if you are able to meet, it's good to, start together. Tamil Nadu adu பண்ணும்போது it will be better thing. So that's how I started. I wanted to start something on my own, but when like-minded people were there, we joined together and started.
That was a nice journey, bro. So when you started the startup, what was your first revenue and when did you attain the break even?
So 2021 we did registration as a company, private limited company. 2021 to 2022 around 30 to 40 lakhs on the level, because Tamil was running it single-handedly. We were all supporting from outside, right? Then 2022 we raised a pre-seed round 1.5 crore. A lot of prominent people invested in the company, angel investors. And with that, we doubled our, not double, actually 10 times, 100 times we have made the revenue. So we went up to like almost 3 CR pakko, we did the order booking. And then from there, we raised our seed round of 1.5 million from venture capitalists. And then now we are close to like 3-4 million. We are having a run rate right now. So that's how it's growing. So we are growing 10 times year on year from our revenue, what we had done previously.
So when you jumped inside India and thought of starting a startup, கண்டிப்பா உங்க ஹோம்ல ஏதோ ஒரு அவங்களுக்கு ஒரு மைண்ட் செட் இருக்கும்ல. What was it and how you dealt with it?
So the delay of me starting something on my own, also coming full time into Frigate, is something related to the family, right? Because I was earning such a high earning person in the family, they were all scared of my decision to leave the job. Other than the middle class families, I always say this is either a curse or something of middle class families, that once you have a safe job, everybody wants to just stick to the job for 10-15 years at least.
Yes.
Risk எடுக்கிறதுங்கிறது வந்து ரொம்ப கஷ்டம். And my marriage was scheduled, right? 22 my marriage was scheduled, and then people are saying marriage நிறுத்திடுவாங்க நீ வேலையில விட்டீங்கன்னா. Then I somehow convinced people. I still have some differences with my family also on the decisions I have made, but my wife has supported me a lot. She has supported. She said that go start do something. If you don't do now, we won't be able to do it later. Try. Everything she has supported me. Even now, just 20 days back, I was blessed with a baby boy. She is there alone in Pune taking care of the kid. I am here. She's like, go do whatever you want. So that support is needed. My wife is supporting me still now, and that's the reason I'm able to do the things at this stage. Or else it won't happen. It is a difficult choice of leaving the job and doing things.
Definitely, Karthik. And congratulations for your baby boy.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah. So jumping into the startup part, how are you different from your competitors? So actually, there are many other competitors in the cloud manufacturing field, right? How do you differ from them, and what advantage do you give?
See, let's look at it in this way, right? Uh, let's not look at how we are different from others, right? Let's look at what we are good at. Okay.
Yeah.
Manufacturing is a big industry. Okay. Take an example of how IT industry was in 1990s when the computers came, when the internet came, how the IT industry has exploded. It is not necessary that we have to differentiate from others. It is just we need to find out where we are really good at and which manufacturing we can do really well. Manufacturing is going to be the biggest thing in India for next 30 to 50 years, right? And we want to play a part in it. And I think there can be even 100 companies like Frigate, 100 companies like one of big companies in our space, right? We still have that level of opportunities available in manufacturing. So Frigate, we don't look at competitions that much. We look at what we are good at and we execute the manufacturing order. So that's how we are growing right now.
Great, brother. So when I started, basically I'm a mechanical engineer. So we made a project. Uh, it it was a sort of wheel which is of 250 mm. Okay. So when I went inside fabrication and searched for manufacturers to make the proto, I found that many of the manufacturers here நிறைய பேத்துக்கிட்ட 250 mm ஹோல்ட் பண்றதுக்கான ஃபெசிலிட்டி இல்லை. ஸோ இந்த மாதிரி there are many things only few people have and ஒரு சில விஷயம் வந்து ஈஸியா எல்லாத்துலயும் கிடைக்கிறது இல்லை. So how do you manage that, and how do you manage the supply chain between the customer and the supplier?
Got it. So we see that is where I also contribute to Frigate in terms of technology, right? So we built our own tech platform in which
Okay.
we onboard these suppliers. We take data of their capability, their machineries, their what are the products they did, like entire history and the capability metrics of the supplier is with us as a data. Okay.
Mm.
And we use this data to match the requirement with the correct supplier. And in case if we don't find the right supplier, we also have an established team with experience in finding right suppliers and we get it done. Some sort of special items, we have an engineering expertise, we have a design team, we have a NPD team, we have a DFM team who reviews it and either suggest the customer to have some sort of modification to get the manufacturing done, or find the right person who can get it done. Even if it is not possible to get it done, we also communicate it transparently with the customer. And
Yeah.
apart from this, once the order is placed by the customer, we have a platform where we give entire transparency to the customer. Every day updates are given in the platform directly, and every day customer can log in, they can open, like how you are tracking your e-commerce when your order is reaching your home. Same way you can monitor everything, each and everything in our platform directly. So the tech, the data is what playing. And sometimes what we do, we focus on capabilities of the supplier. That rather than taking new projects, supplier எங்களோட ஃப்ரிகேட்டர்ஸோட கேப்பபிலிட்டிஸ் என்னங்கிறத பார்த்து we pitch that one and we take the orders. So that also is very easy for
Okay.
us. And sometimes we take this kind of new product development. We have a dedicated team who does the new product development.
So when it comes to the new product development, நிறைய manufacturers ஒரு single product எடுத்து பண்றதில்ல because the manufacturing cost also goes high. Uh, so basically, if I want to do a job, நான் அதுக்கு தனியா ஒரு டை பண்ணி takes 2 to 3 lakhs around that. So I have to spend the cost and the manufacturing also goes high. So how do you manage that?
See, நீங்க சொல்றது வந்து there is a difference between prototyping or small volume production versus the new product development. Okay.
Yeah.
So the prototyping stageல இருக்க ப்ராடக்ட்ஸ் அண்ட் நியூ அதாவது என்ன சொல்ல பைலட் பேட்ச் இல்லைன்னா லோ வால்யூம் ப்ரொடக்ஷன்ல இருக்க பேட்ச்க்கு there are some suppliers who wants to do that only, right? For
Okay.
example, if they suggest multiple methods as well. I'll tell you an example. When we were making the robot, we wanted to make the enclosure for the robot, and we want it to be shiny like a vehicle paint, right?
Hmm.
Now we cannot go and do a mold for it, right? We cannot
Yes.
do a mold for it. We cannot make that. So what we did, we 3D printed, but we use a special technology called MJF 3D printing. MJF
Okay.
gives you very good quality of 3D printing, right? On top of it, we took it to the paint shop, in automobile paint shop. We did the painting on top of it, right? Because it was one
Okay.
or two manufacturing. But we had a team who suggested that to do it, supply chain team. So similar way, we have an engineering team who will suggest if it was only one or two items you are going to do, we will keep the result same, but we will change the technology to do it, right? If you want to do pilot production, you can go for instead of 3D printing, you can go for vacuum casting. If you
Hmm.
want to do large volume, you don't need to go for vacuum casting. We can go for injection molding. So and the advantage is throughout these three stages, you are with a single company, right? You are not talking to a different person. So that's the advantage again Frigate provides. You don't need to go to, if you go directly, you have to talk to three different suppliers and you have to ensure that knowledge gained on first supplier has to be transferred to second, has to be transferred to third. That's what Frigate takes care on the entire journey. So that's how we get it done.
So what are the systems or things that you touch on? Is it only the mechanical manufacturing part, or you also touch on the electrical PCB board, those type of things? So what are the verticals that you work on?
Yeah. In mechanical, we cover heavy structures. We cover sheet
Okay.
metal, casting, forging, these all things we do. And in electrical, we do cables. And new product, we do custom hose, air brake hoses. Hose la manufacture. Then plastics and rubber, we do. In electronics, we do EMS, electronic manufacturing service, and contract manufacturing of the product, entire assembly product. We do. Yes, we do PCBs, we do semiconductors procurement. We enter into that field as well. Currently, we are like a horizontal team. Anything that you have as a requirement of getting sourcing, we get it done.
Great. So basically, making products indigenous brings a robust economy, right? So if we see most of the products that we are utilizing here are not everything is not manufactured in India. We import it from many other countries. Especially if you're doing some fabrication on EVs or something. For lithium ion, we have to be definitely dependent on China. Similarly, neodymium magnets or some other type of magnets, we are having very less manufacturing people in India. So how do you think making product indigenous on the first part, how can it develop an economy as well as what is the problem there for making the product indigenous?
Um, okay. So first thing, why do we need to make it indigenous manufacturing? That is obvious, right? So we should have the capability to get things done, and manufacturing is something that if we need something, we should be able to get it done in India, right? Then cheaper. We don't need to depend on other economies. If we are able to get things done on our own, let's say mobile phones are manufactured in India. If there is a war happening in different part of the world, it will not affect, right? Our mobile phones price are going to stay the same, right? So
Yeah.
that is why we need indigenous manufacturing. And second thing, the problems in getting few things done, if you talk about lithium ion batteries, right? It starts with the raw material. Some raw materials are not available in India, right? That is where we need to, focus on. There are few things you can fix, few things we cannot fix. For example, lithium resource, if we need, I think we found some lithium resource in Jammu and Kashmir region, but it's yet to be, taken out and used. So that is where the problem arises, right? Raw material is the first thing which cannot be much controlled because of the natural resource, right? We cannot make it. Or what we can do, we can find alternative. Instead of that,
Okay.
if you don't have that raw material available, instead of lithium, can we use something else, right? Hydrogen fuel, natural gas, those kind of things we can find out. And yeah, that's where the challenge comes in, right? The semiconductors also same. Semiconductor is not something that we can establish indigenous manufacturing immediately, but it all starts with do the assembly in India, learn the stuff, then try to make one component locally, then you try to make two components locally, then you try to create an ecosystem, then you do slowly. So it's a journey. It's not a something that we can do it in a blink of an eye. It has to take years and years of expertise to learn manufacturing, and that's what other countries have learned so much. So that's why world is also not able to replace them easily, right?
Yeah.
Because they are doing the ecosystem, that's why they are not able to replace them easily.
So people here think we are not. we don't have a good resource for lithium ion. For that, we are also giving a tough part for that, right? So coming on, you started all these thing in a tier two and tier three cities. So how do you catch up your first set of suppliers?
See, we all founders worked in the industry, so we have a good set of connections with the suppliers. So we started with them as a first base, that are existing connections with the suppliers, and it was difficult to gain the trust of the suppliers first, right? But because we had a good connection with the suppliers, that's how we started. Okay.
Okay.
Then getting the customers again with the connections, personal connections of each founder. We try to generate that interest from the customers. We started with very small projects, very small projects, right? Then when we do it, we use that case study to promote to other customers, and then gain the trust of them, and then get it. So that's how we started as a stepping stone, and that's why the first year, second year was something that we did step by step process. Now at least we are at a mature stage. We have a good to gain trust of these people who want to work with us,
Okay.
right? That's how we are able to hire people, still build this company from tier 2 city.
Great, brother. So similarly, who was your targeted customers when you started first?
First start பண்ணும்போது we thought that we will do for OEMs in India, right? பெரிய OEMs
Okay.
கெல்லாம் பண்ணலாம். Then the challenge was that these OEMs have a supply chain policy. They want to work directly with the suppliers. So that was a difficult thing, right? First, actually, we thought we will build a marketplace, right? Software mulema, we will show all these suppliers to the customers, but that didn't work out. Then we tried OEMs, that didn't work out. And then we thought of targeting these small and medium scale customers, right? And the சின்ன customers இருக்காங்கல்ல, மிஷின் பில் பண்றவங்க,
Hmm.
ஒரு 5 crore பாத்தீங்கன்னா குட்டியா ஒரு மிஷின் பில் பண்ற இது வச்சிருப்பாங்க, அவங்க ட்ரை பண்ணணும். But that all didn't work. Then finally now the target customers are overseas customers, North America
Okay.
and Europe, Australia, whoever wants to establish a supply chain in India, or they are looking for alternate manufacturer, or they want to move out of other country for manufacturing. They are our customers. We are helping those customers to manufacture in India and deliver the parts. It could be
Great.
segment wise பாத்தீங்கன்னா industry segments இருக்கும், pumps, valves, automotive supply பண்ற tier 1 இருக்கும். Then product companies இருக்கும். நிறைய பேர் பாத்தீங்கன்னா சின்ன அந்த mechanical products இருக்கும். Take an example of AirPods case
Hmm.
பண்றவங்க எல்லாம் பாத்தீங்கன்னா mechanical. Someone needs to do it, right? So that's what we do.
Yeah. So we were speaking about this OEMs, right? So what do you think? What is the problem of getting inside an OEM? Other than these policy issues, in OEM's perspective, also tell me what are the pros and cons they have when they are taking an external supplier.
See, OEMs, it was difficult because they already have a supply chain team, right, inside their company. Already or a 30-40 member team இருக்கும், price negotiation க்கு தனி team இருக்கும், vendor research பண்றதுக்கு தனி team இருக்கும். So they were feeling the value that we add was little less. But now we work with few OEMs in helping them to make few parts that they are not able to make in India earlier.
Okay,
அந்த மாதிரி parts we are still making for them, right? But early stage it was difficult for us to get inside them. And from
fine.
their point of view, it is good to have another supplier, but they all wanted to, work directly with the supplier. But now the things are changing. Now they feel value of what we can bring to the table, and we are working with few OEMs in India as well.
Great, brother. So far we have covered a lot about Frigate, right? So coming up, we will have some lessons for the budding startup folks who is trying to concentrate on this particular platform. I would like to know what was your thought and how do you dealt with your first investment?
Yeah, first when we went to raise the investment, see the investment எப்ப raise பண்ணலாம் அப்படின்னா, something that you want to build faster and you want to capture the market and you
Okay,
want some fuel. வண்டி இருக்கு, டயர் இருக்கு, நல்ல டிரைவர் இருக்காங்க, பட் கொஞ்சம் எக்ஸ்ட்ரா ஃபியூவல் இருந்தா you can go faster. அப்படின்ற டைம்ல தான் we have to go for fundraising, right? And that fuel is what fundraising. If you don't have good driver, if you don't have a good vehicle, if you don't have good tires, you don't have good engine, then there is no point in funding. Fuel மட்டும் கேன்ல வாங்கி வச்சு நம்ம என்ன பண்ண போறோம், right? So we built that car, driver, good team, good business model, proven product market fit எல்லாமே ரெடி பண்ணிட்டு Then we went for funding, and it was little easy for us to get the funding when that car and team and everything is ready. So our mindset was to first raise பண்ணும்போது I used to speak to my other co-founder Tamil, right? He was telling we will raise around 15 to 30 lakh பக்கம் நம்ம raise பண்ணலாம் அப்படின்னா. So if at all the ask itself is too low, right? What is the purpose of raising that much of money? Then we have to do
Yeah.
something bigger. So that's why we went for raising 1.5 CR. And then after that also, now whatever we have raised is to grow ourselves into a multi-million dollar company. So that's how our mindset was while raising the money. It's purely to accelerate the growth that we are doing and do it in a multifold scale. But business is business, right? We have to build the business, make profits, then only we can grow.
So if I'm manufacturing a part of Bina, there are multiple manufacturers having one or two legs or one or two equipments in their thing. And if I'm just Amateur part of Bina, there are many people with small manufacturing machines inside. But most of them are out of job a lot of time. So just as far as I've seen. So how do you think you can connect these manufacturers? So how does it have a benefit over?
Actually, these are the people is our target, right? The suppliers who
Okay.
have limited capability, limited capacity, and limited team, but has potential to do what they are very good at, right? இப்போ 2 மிஷின்ஸ் வச்சிருக்காங்களோ, ஒரு மிஷின் வச்சிருக்காங்களோ, but if I give them a job, whether they can do it with quality on time. If they are good at that, that is more than enough. We get them as a partners. We give first few orders of that quantity, and then let's say they are growing really well. They are doing really good quality products. Then we sometimes invest in their facility and grow the facility as well along with that. That's how we are doing. And we will have data of all these manufacturers, எவ்வளவு machines இருக்கு, மிஷினோட capacity என்ன, மிஷினோட make என்ன, and that's how we even send our requirements to the suppliers depending on their capability and capacity.
So when we speak of this manufacturing, the quality of manufacturing is very important, right? So there might be a small tolerance mistake and those things might happen. So when you're onboarding a supplier, how do you ensure that they provide a quality product out?
So first we look at what they have done so far. Then we have an audit process where we onboard them. We make them go through multiple process before onboarding them.
Okay.
Then we give a sample order to them and then see how they are performing with that sample order. Once they are qualified, then we give more good RFQs to them.
So do you have a preferred mechanism for that where you keep tracking?
Team, and that is what we made it as a technology right now. So our technology
Okay.
takes care of it. Onboard them. We have a score, vendor score that we take. We take feedback from the customers. So all these combines to the vendor score that we have.
So jumping back to the startup guy's point, so if I'm building, I'm 20-year-old guy, I'm building a kind of startup in the sector. First, how do I take this product worldwide? So if I'm manufacturing in India, how do I make the manufacturing for the world? How do I bring for the world?
Taking it outside, you have to be really careful while taking it outside because, see, before going outside, you need to build some case studies, right? You cannot go and sell to somebody outside of India just by showing tech, right? You need to show the real case studies. So what I would
No.
say, if you are a new startup, build some good case studies in India. India has so many problems. Even if you are doing it for cheaper cost or you are doing it for less margin, take those orders, execute it, build a good case study, then you try to find the right customer base in which country you are looking for. நீங்க எல்லா கண்ட்ரியும் போய் அட்டாக் பண்ண முடியாது. Europe has a different culture, US has a different culture, Australia and Middle East has a different culture. And அந்த particular countryல என்ன ப்ராடக்ட் வந்து நிறைய import export ஆகுது. There are platforms available where you can get this import export data. அந்த மாதிரி platforms use பண்ணி you figure out what are the parts that are like exported a lot from different country to that particular country, target country. Then you can get the data and you can try to target those companies and tell them, sell your stories, tell them that this is what you are good at, and take one order, two order. And there are a lot of times you might find a trick. I will tell you, you might find Indians working in that companies in the US, right? So go through them, take help of them to catch hold of first customer in the overseas. So that's
Nice.
good GTM, right? Find people who can help you in that company.
It is a shortcut to achieve, right? I,
Yeah, You need to safeguard their credibility, right? Unless you deliver, nobody is going to help you. So first connection may happen through those people, but after that you have to deliver.
Okay.
Truly to do it. And once you grow, we are becoming an alternative for other countries in manufacturing. So that image also will help you in doing it. But be precise on what you can deliver, and the culture that needs to be followed when you work with overseas customers. If you say yes, it's yes. It's not maybe. In India, if
Okay.
you say yes, it's maybe. Right? Maybe 10 நாள்ல முடியுமா? நடந்துரும். But நடந்துரும் means it's not like நடந்துரும், நடக்காது, நடக்க பார்க்கலாம். It's like
நடந்துடலாம்
நடந்துடலாம்.
அந்த டைப் தான்.
That culture, lot of times we faced a problem with that culture. If you say, even when I moved from US to India, right, I had issues with that culture, even in this industry, right? Because they'll say, ho jayega, right? Like it will happen. But at the 10th day, you will go and talk to them, they'll say another 10 days. What is that? Right? Yeah. But US people or any other country takes words for serious. So if you want to build a credibility, if you say yes, it has to happen. If you say no, okay, fine, no problem.
So இப்போ நீங்க சொன்ன மாதிரி when you take it outside of India, what are the some problems or some of the biggest problem that you have faced? Can you mention some over here?
So yeah, the first problem is brand's presence, right? See, for us, we might be big in India, or we might be good in Tamil Nadu, or we might be known in Trichy and Coimbatore. For US people, we are like small dot, right? Or Europe, we are a small dot, right? So to gain the trust of the customers, sometimes we participate in expo la nadakkum nariya. So we have a government has an agency called EEPC, Engineering Exports kne thaniya or agency irukku. So they help us to participate in this expo with a subsidy. So we get a
Okay.
subsidy in terms of participating in this expos. That will put you in front of the customer, right? So people come there, you can meet them face to face and talk to them, gain trust. So last year we did participate in one event, and next in a couple of months we are going to participate in another event in Canada, energy event. So that's how we are trying to gain the trust with the customers. We are still in the very early stage of increasing our export sales, and now
Okay.
even getting an employee in the US is not so easy, right? So there also you have to use your personal connection. So I onboarded someone who worked with me in the previous company, who already know me very well, my capability, and also we onboarded him to help us in growing that business in the US region. So that's how we are growing.
Nice, brother. That's nice. So we were speaking about taking the product outside India, everything. All right. Now I want to know, where do you think this manufacturing will be after 5 years? What is the technology development? So if you see, basically before a decade, the additive manufacturing was not a big talk, but now we are even making rockets in additive manufacturing, right? So like this, where do you think the manufacturing perspective or the manufacturing industry will be after 5 years?
See, the technology for manufacturing will keep evolving. Okay, for casting, forging, everything, there is a new methods are getting involved. 3D printing, new methods on the trigger. Like then we have metal 3D printing. Not just
Hmm.
plastics. We 3D print the metal itself. That's where the rockets are getting built. There are a lot of
Yes.
companies that do, right? So manufacturing technology is ever evolving. It will keep evolving. Electronics la nariya vandiruchu, right? Things are evolving. And the customer side also, the things are rapidly, products also rapidly growing right now. So if you say Nvidia, how they are innovating in semiconductor, Apple products, how they are changing, robotics is coming, right? Tesla is investing heavily in robotics, Nvidia is investing in robotics, right? So these two are ever evolving industry, but the problem is how these two match together, right?
Okay.
The product speed and the manufacturing technology speed has to match together, right? That is what the main challenge in the manufacturing industry, and that's what the companies like us are trying to bridge the gap between the customer expectations in getting the parts done, between the manufacturing technology available, capability available, availability, quality, and other things. Okay, so this எனக்கு தெரிஞ்ச நான் இண்டஸ்ட்ரியில சொல்றேன், B2B மேனுஃபேக்சரிங் எப்படி இருக்க போகுது, இந்த எங்களை மாதிரி அக்ரிகேட்டர்ஸ் இருக்காங்கல்ல, லைக் பிட்வீன் த கஸ்டமர்ஸ் அண்ட் மேனுஃபேக்சரர்ஸ், ஹவு திஸ் இஸ் கோயிங் டு எவால்வ் இஸ், in the business only there are two things can happen. One is either we become a marketplace where we openly showcase the capabilities of the suppliers, connect the customer with the suppliers, we take a commission, right? That can be one way of business, or not just we, it is my prediction for this B2B industry, right? And the second way this can happen is either we put our own manufacturing facility, we control the 100% of the manufacturing capacity, right? A lot of companies who started in our space started investing in their own manufacturing facility. So my prediction is either two ways. One, you become a true marketplace, be a bridge between these customers and suppliers, and make sure that the suppliers are quality and connect both of them. Or you slowly start putting your manufacturing facility and focus on things that you're really good at and control the entire quality and deliver it and scale it with automation, robotics, and other things. This is my prediction for B2B platforms.
Coming to this point, particularly, so currently, how many manufacturers in Frigate are of your own?
We don't have own manufacturing facility, but we have a joint venture with few manufacturing facilities, right? We don't need to
Okay.
invest in machineries which are already available and sitting idle. So we did joint venture with few manufacturers. They are our preferred first set of manufacturers, but we have close to 250 manufacturers who are onboarded with us, and we have close to connections with 1,000 plus manufacturers. But we work with a quality set of manufacturers, and we expand only when it is required.
So, speaking of suppliers, handling suppliers is a big task, right? So, how do you promise a timeline to your customers based on these suppliers? And what is your DNA in it to manage and handle these things?
So the DNA is basically working with right set of people, right set of suppliers, right? Finding
Okay.
them, nurturing the relationship with them, understanding the real challenges before even going to the manufacturer. That's why we have an engineering team. See, one of the key thing I did when I was in Frigate is I don't come from mechanical background, right? I come from electronics background. But I took over operations in Frigate. While I was setting up operations, I understood the challenges, where and all gaps are there, right? So
Hmm.
when we take a design to the supplier, before we go to the supplier, we should know what are all the challenges in the design. So then I established a design team, right, with the proper software and other things. Then if it's a new product development, supplier might not know how to do it. Then we have a
Okay.
NPD team who is doing it, right? And we have a good supply chain team who evaluates the supplier and onboards them on a regular basis, right? And then we don't do it when it is like on demand. Then it's a problem, right? You don't know who they are. And we started doing the sample order, basis. So we do the sample order first. We make sure that they are good, they can deliver on time, and then only we take them to the real customers. So
Okay.
it's kind of a chicken and egg problem, uh, right? Customer satisfied பண்றதா இல்ல supplier satisfied பண்றதா, but it takes efforts and a careful execution to make sure that these two are getting matched on time. And sometimes I'm telling you, customers also understand the technical challenges. Okay, the problem with what we have seen in this industry is not communicating it on time. So ஒரு ப்ராப்ளம் இருக்குங்கிறத ஆன் டைம்ல நம்ம சொல்லிட்டாலே பாதி ப்ராப்ளம் சால்வ், ரைட்? அந்த ப்ராப்ளம் இருக்குன்னு கடைசி நேரம் வரைக்கும் சொல்லாம கடைசியில போய் எனக்கு இந்த ப்ராப்ளம் இருக்குன்னு சொல்லும் போது they get frustrated, right? So that's where we bring the
Right.
transparency. So if things are getting delayed in the raw material procurement, customer will know that it is getting delayed in raw material procurement stage. It's not like until the end of the day they will wait for it to get, uh, you know.
Okay. So we have spoken a lot about Frigate and the manufacturing, right? So now let's have some chill talk about what is the day-to-day life of a COO and being a new father. How are you managing it?
Day to day it's very difficult. So basically first thing, when I was working in IT and tech company that was in a good position, it was like a very comfortable life, right? You can stay in a good city, you have your big house, vehicle, then you can roam around whenever you want, and at 6 o'clock you can just close your laptop, put for someone else to do the work. But when it comes to startup, it's like 24 by 7. So even
Okay.
after finishing this podcast, I need to go and take a call with a US employee, right? I need to spend at least 2, 3 hours with them. So sleep around 12, 11, 12. It takes efforts, it takes energy. What we have to do is we need to have a proper support, proper health, proper food, and everything to take care of this. And mentally, I prepared my family mentally before entering into a startup base. So in my day, I wake up around 5 a.m., spend 5 to 6, 7 a.m. For my personal things. I don't do any work. Sometimes I read emails. Sometimes I do that. I'm trying to reduce that. After 7, I get ready, go to office, meet with the people. A lot of times I travel a lot. I meet customers, I meet suppliers. I spend time with team as much as possible. Not just in office. I take them out. I do a lot of we take them out. We understand them personally. Spend most of the time with them, because if team is good, things are taken care for me, right? So I spend most time in that people relationship rather than focusing on the professional work. Then emails, calls, that keeps going. Of course, I'm trying to spend time with my family and the kid as well.
Do you
I do.
sleep at least?
No, I do sleep. Weekends are for sleep for me. That too.
Okay.
See, this is one of the shock for me, right? In IT, we don't work on Saturdays, right?
Yes.
Manufacturing work on Saturdays, right? So that
Even
was a
work on Sundays.
sometimes we work on Sundays as well. So yeah, I try to spend time. Now I'm spending at least a week in Pune, being with my kid, and then coming back for 3 weeks in Coimbatore, sitting with the team. And even in Pune, I try to meet people, do interviews, hire business development people. So you have to mix. You have to consider. I see, only you can do this only if you are passionate about something. You cannot consider this as a job. You have to consider this as a part of your life, right? Then only you
Okay.
will be able to do it. And as situation grows, as things grow, of course you can start making time for family. You can take some vacation. So you have to wait until the business matures to that stage.
That is really a big task that we have to handle daily, right? And that is also part of motivation.
Yes,
So,
yes.
coming to the final part of this podcast, I would wish you give some advice for a new founder who is trying to come up in this industry. Uh, where are the points that he might miss? Where are the points he has to concentrate on? So, you have already started a startup and you have crossed these journeys, right? So, just give them some advice they should focus and where they have to concentrate on. And also tell me where this industry can go ahead and what are the things that they can put effort on.
Got it. Got it. So the first thing, anybody starting in this space, right? I would suggest look at what you are really good at, and build a right team, be with the right team. That is very, very important. Okay. So you have to have like-minded people who can put their blood and sweat in building a company, right? So that is very
Yeah.
important, because it's always very difficult to build a company, and it's very lonely. There are a lot of things. Even if you feel like crying, you cannot cry in front of people, right? So you have to go separately and cry. So find right people. I always suggest the co-founder should be like friends, right? So you
Okay.
should be able to cry in front of them happily, right? You should be able to be very comfortable in front of them. Then only you'll be able to build a good business. So first, finding a right team. And second thing, don't go with a solution. Try to address the problem. So what problem you are trying to solve, don't try to just sell what you have. Try to find the problem and then sell to the right customers. Don't go for fundraising early. First, try to build traction, build customers, talk to customers, do some sales. It's very easy. It's not like day one you need funding. It's very easy to build. So go talk to the customers, understand them, and then try to sell, make money. Then you can go and do the fundraising. So these are the very basic building blocks of when you are starting. And make sure that as a founder, you have a at least basic financials taken care. Your food,
Okay.
your shelter, your family should be taken care, right? I always tell these people, don't experiment when you are very unstable in financial. Either you work for a good company 3 4 years, no problem, no problem. And it's not like you should start at 21, you should start at 20, then only you'll be successful. People start at 40 and being successful. People start at 50 and sometimes they are successful, right? So it you wait for the correct time, make sure that the blocks are built properly, basement is built properly, so the building that you build on top of it, you can experiment, you can build more. And there are few
Okay.
things that the I would say the pitfalls, or the things that you should be very, very aware of. um, Again, I would say team, right? Go with the right mindset team, because if your mindset is not of the same thought, and
Okay.
everybody has to have a same vision, right? If someone wants to build a 10 crore company and someone wants to build a 10,000 crore company, the mindset is completely different, right? So you both
Yes.
cannot work together and build something. So you have to ensure that the mindset is same for all these people. So that is the area you should focus more in getting the right people.
Okay.
Then find right customers, build relationships, and do it. Another area, finance wise, you should be very, very careful, even in the company as well as personally. Set up the process, set up the system early on in the company. Don't over engineer the systems, but set up systems in such a way that it can scale along with you, right? Finance sales operations try to set up things. This personal thought, what I think that the founders who are trying to come into this industry, not the matter about how the are evolving, right? Be it whether they become a marketplace or whether they become a own manufacturing facility, how tech is playing a role. In my opinion, in next 10 years, 20 years, we will have Alibaba kind of platforms. We'll have many platforms coming in. So how those are going to work together, how technology is going to change this manufacturing aggregator business, you have to look at if you are coming into this industry.
Perfect, brother. So that was a perfect outcome of what I asked. So today in our podcast, we have covered a lot about how a manufacturing works inside Frigate, and many things about where the startups should focus on and where the industry is leading to. That was very insightful and good organic conversation, brother. Thanks for your time. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Lavarsan. Thank you, Cascale team, so much. It was very nice talking to someone and sharing these insights, right? Sometimes we also feel like, okay, a good thing that we are helping community to grow. So I'll be happy to, help your community, and my wishes to the Castle team to grow bigger.
Thank you. Thank you so much, brother.